Hello, welcome to Thrive After Teaching tonight. Now, I have to say my Wi-Fi isn't good and I'm getting all these terrible messages telling me my connection is bad, and I have a hard wire straight into my laptop, so there is little that I can actually do about it. So fingers crossed. So thank you for watching today. I am live tonight and tomorrow night and on Thursday night at 6:45, talking about and just helping you make that transition out of teaching with perhaps a little less stress, a little less overwhelmed with what you want to do next. And I am here to help you for 3 nights this week. So tonight, I'm talking about 6 steps to reduce anxiety when you know you're leaving. And it's really difficult, isn't it? When you've reached that realization that teaching in the future isn't actually for you. It can be such a daunting thought that one day you actually, you accept that realization that you don't want to be there anymore. And it's scary and it's really worrying, because personally, I went to teaching and I never thought I wanted to do anything else. I never even dreamt of having another career. It was going to be my forever job. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And I do find that really sad. So the realization is that at that moment, it's really, really difficult. And you can't push it to one side and you can't carry on teaching because it just makes you more and more miserable. And you feel that you don't want to be in the classroom anymore, and you wonder what life would be like on the outside. So I'm here today to help you through those weeks that if you have decided to leave, and prepare yourself for your new adventure out of the classroom. Honestly, it is just, I don't know how to describe it. It is just so a freedom feeling when you've left for a few weeks and you realize that actually, what should I do next? Okay, let's discover what to do next. I left pretty quickly. So within 3 or 4 weeks into September, I had that realization. When I first started in September, the term, I would say, yes, great, fresh start, new class. But it just hit me and I thought, I don't want to be in here anymore. And the school were lovely and they found somebody to replace me. I was part-time, so they had to find somebody 2 days a week. I've been working at the same school for over 20 years, so they really looked after me and they were really sad to see me go. They offered to support me and for the whole term until December, but I knew deep down that it was time to go. But I had no plan. I had no idea. And I created this Facebook group because I just wanted to hug everybody who was in my situation. And I wanted to create that group of people who are really, really going to support each other. And I don't want to sound offensive to anybody, but the Facebook groups I found, people were just sitting and ranting, but they weren't doing. So this group is all about forward thinking when we've hit that realization. Okay, our lives have been pretty not so good in the teaching world. We have hit that realization, but I don't need to go on about it. I don't need to speak about my terrible experiences. To be honest, I didn't have many terrible experiences. I was very lucky. So I am very passionate that having a plan would have made my transition out of teaching so much easier. If I knew where I was going, my headspace would have been far more positive and it would have benefited me so much. So I'm here to help you do that. So how do we keep going without crumbling? So for me, I was still working for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks after I made that decision. And this is the advice I'm going to give you today. So you need to create a purpose that's beyond the classroom. And it can be anything. Don't get too tied up on perhaps, oh, I need to work positively all the time on what I'm going to do for an income when I leave teaching. You need to relax your brain a bit and actually do things for you. So trust yourself and your instinct and make some decisions for yourself. So if you have a hobby that might have been lying a bit dormant while you've been teaching, do a bit of research and start delving back into that. Start making a life for yourself that is beyond the classroom. And that is my key message. For me, I decided I wanted to do something arty. I bought myself an iPad. I asked my friend who's a graphic designer some information, and I started learning about how to draw digital pictures using Procreate on my iPad. And that then escalated, and I found things out I had no idea existed. I created an Etsy store and a Redbubble store, and I went onto Instagram, and I was learning so much for myself. So it wasn't directly for money, but it was making myself feel worthy and having a purpose. So make a plan. Number one is to make a plan for learning something new online, anything at all. It doesn't have to be online. Post-COVID is looming. So perhaps you can join a club or even go to the gym and learn something for yourself and have time to do it every week. Even if it's just for half an hour, just snap that time to increase your own personal self. Okay, create an additional purpose to your life, and it can be anything, absolutely anything. Join a choir, an art group, go to the gym, online course. Number two is to connect with people online and ask some questions, which can sound a little bit scary, but by doing this, you are you're going out there and blossoming in a completely different world to education. And it is so thrilling and revitalizing to be talking about something else rather than teaching and lesson plans and all of that. It is just so valuable. Number three is to actually set yourself some really firm work boundaries. I wasn't taught any of that when I was a teacher. I've learned through online business how boundaries are really, really important. So, for example, if you set yourself a time boundary that I am leaving school at a certain time, do that, okay? At the weekends, have that boundary. So you have your time to work, and when you're working, you'll be really productive because you need to finish it by that time of day. So make yourself some home time boundaries. Number four is, and this is a difficult one if you're in school, leave slightly earlier once a week, and this will make your evening longer and you'll feel a little bit rebellious, and people will wonder what you're up to. If you slightly tweak your timetable of life, of leaving that, do something a little bit out of the ordinary. If you are the one that stays until the caretaker, the site manager locks the door, do something where you can go home early. Plan your day so you can do that. It just feels really rebellious when you go, right, that is the time. I'm at my school, I think it was like half an hour after school, the children left, you were then allowed to officially leave. It's just a really good thing to do. People wonder what you're up to. Number four. So that was number four. Number five is go on a discovery of possible jobs and business opportunities and be inquisitive. So go online, look at LinkedIn, different Facebook groups to do with different careers. I've joined one about instructional design, because I've heard it's a really, really good avenue for teachers to go into. We are so used to writing instructions for children to follow. And if you're a primary school teacher, we've taught about instructions, we've made PowerPoints, and we can go into instructional design. So I got inquisitive and I got onto these Facebook groups, but then they lead to websites and they lead to courses, and you start going down this pathway of learning more and more. So go on like this discovery pathway and see what you can find out. If you're interested in learning about online opportunities or creating a preschool group, perhaps with toddlers, preschoolers, I have got lots of interviews that I've done inside the Facebook group with teachers, with businesses. So do have a thumb through and see what you can find. And number six is stop being a perfectionist in your classroom. Okay, try not to have everything crystal and perfect and wall displays and everything in its place. Try and take some shortcuts. How you can reduce your time is not to be so perfect, and especially wall displays, because they take so much time around your actual classroom. Let a few things go. Give a few jobs to the children to do, or the teaching assistant, and try to pass and give that little bit of workload that might take you half an hour to do after school to somebody else. And I'm sure they'll love to do it. So what you need to do is you need to plan, love what you plan to do in your future. Okay, plan with the passion and excitement that fits with your beliefs and your values. Okay, you will be more productive in your future and happier and motivated and disciplined to earn the money if you align everything to you and you really enjoy what you are doing. The final point I would like to make is that it's really important to surround yourself with those that don't actually teach, because they won't understand your mindset at this very time. Dive into your address book, and this is what I did, and connect with others that you've not seen for a while. So it's just so refreshing. I went off to Devon and I saw some university friends. I went up to Bristol and saw another university friend. I spent time with best mate in Wales. She moved there about 12 years ago. Reconnect with them, and it's just such a fantastic feeling to be away from that teaching bubble, because once you leave teaching, I felt I needed one of my best friends where I live is a teacher, and she taught at the school where I was, and I do find it now I find it a bit stale, because we need to make sure that we surround ourselves with things that we are passionate about and people that understand, for me, online business. I mean, I love my friends, absolutely, but sometimes we just need that little bit different and connect with brand new people online. It is so refreshing. By all means, you must keep your friends. They are very precious and you can't replace them. But do start connecting with other people as well who are on a very similar journey and pathway to you. Okay, thank you so much for listening tonight. So that was the 6 steps to reducing your anxiety for when you're leaving. And I do feel the key is to create purpose outside of the educational bubble that you're in. Have something for you, because out of all of those 6 steps, that was really, really the main thing that kept me going and kept me positive, and having that outlook that I can do something else in the future. So do keep positive, and you can do this. I will be live again tomorrow night at 6:45, and I look forward to seeing you all here. And I can see I've got some comments, so thank you very much for listening this evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.